Hey guys, thank you for being here. We're going to be discussing a few more Kylie Rodni facts, or what I see them as facts. I'll be going through some news articles and more interviews just to try to get the story together of the events that happened the day of the party and maybe after. I would really appreciate your thoughts in the comment section, and please understand I am trying to get my information from as many reliable sources as possible as to not muddy into conspiracy. Okay, so the original story here on Reno Gazette Journal at the very beginning says one friend left early and the other grabbed a ride home from someone else at the party on Friday. It makes sense why Mags and Sami headed this search teen to teen talk because they obviously feel guilty of at least leaving their friend there, one early and the one leaving without her, knowing how inebriated she was.
Within the only 10 minutes that I was there, I literally had a group of 5 guys try to come get me to take as many bong rips as I could, forcefully without my boyfriend present.
And here she clearly understands that this is not a place to be, maybe dangerous. She says it herself 10 minutes into it, which, I mean, if you ask my opinion, I'm not fully believing the story that she tells us here, but who am I to argue? I wasn't there. However, she, as soon as she gets there with Kiely, within the first 10 minutes, she's bombarded by men or boys to take bong rips forcefully. I don't know what that looks like, but that's what she says. Something to consider is that when this group of guys went up to Mags to forcefully make her take bong rips, Kiely was at her side. Now, do we know if Kiely was offered bong rips? We don't know that, but I'm trying to picture the situation in my head. Mags and Kiely get there at the party, and then as soon as they get there, these boys are wanting them to take bong rips. Was Kiely included in that interaction, essentially, is my question.
There was a lot of guys that did approach us.
And then here we have Sami also confirming that there were strange young adults, men, I don't know, approaching them. I don't know if it was just them, maybe it was two other girls at the party, but I wonder I wonder what more Sami would have to say about the rest of the party. We only know so little, so that's why I dissect so much, trying to get a clear picture of everything. If you guys recall a previous video that I made, and I'll link it down below, I don't remember what it's called right now. Marika Beck, who is Lindsay's best friend, also speaks about these strange guys that showed up at the party and around 12:30 a.m., which is interesting. And then after that, it got kind of weird, and it broke up the party. Now it is the Sun, so I don't know how reliable they are. I mean, you guys can have your own opinions about the Sun. However, I find some of the statements in there interesting. I had never heard about this Marika Beck person, so that's an interesting name and person to me. She labels this party as a quote unquote parent's worst nightmare. There is drinking and stuff. It's really unfortunate. It is a parent's worst nightmare, and we're just trying to get her home, she said.
Definitely, I was getting a gut feeling during that party that something just didn't feel right with the amount of people that were there and how old some of these people were. From the amount of people who did show up, it was scary. It was really scary.
She acknowledges that she was also uncomfortable, which also makes the her series of events confusing because she leaves her quote unquote good friend at a party that she was uncomfortable and scared at.
So it was supposed to be a senior farewell party where all the seniors and everybody from around our area, like Tahoe and Truckee and Incline and Kings Beach, were supposed to be there. They were invited there because um, it was supposed to be like saying goodbye to your favorite seniors before everybody starts going off to college.
And if you checked out the map that I posted here, it doesn't seem like it was meant to be a small party to begin with.
Because soon enough here, people are going to start leaving and moving out. And so Kiely's a senior, or she graduated early, so she's considered a senior, and I was a senior. So every senior was initially invited to the party. And as well, um, all grades were invited just to, so that they could say goodbye. So I had talked with Kiely and I had known she was going beforehand. We hadn't planned on going together and we ended up not going together. She came with her best friend Mags Larson. Magdalene, sorry, is her first name.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, and so she came with her, drove in with her, and then Mags ended up leaving about 10 minutes into the party with her boyfriend Ross, Mags's boyfriend, and told Kiely goodbye and everything. And they were never planning on like leaving together or staying together at the party. They just went to the party together because they were hanging out earlier in the day. And then I saw her the second she got there, and from that moment on, we were pretty much seen together all around the party.
I know it's nothing. I may be picking, but it's interesting to me the choice of words she uses when she says we were practically seen all around the party. I feel this is in reference to maybe all the teen to teen talk she's had, and she's asking for information. Hey, did you see Kiely? And the people are, what are they giving back to her is, yeah, I saw her and you together throughout the whole party. So I think that's where this comes from.
And it started to grow really big. I would say around 10 to 10:30. It just blew up. Like it started to get to the point where I was getting overwhelmed. And I'm a very social person. I've been to a lot of these parties. I've never been overwhelmed.
Definitely, I was getting a gut feeling during that party that something just didn't feel right with the amount of people that were there and how old some of these people were. From the amount of people who did show up,
I've actually been underwhelmed, but at this party it was very large. Like it was bigger than any party we've had in Truckee all year, and for a lot of years past. There were people from what we think Sacramento, San Francisco. I remember talking to somebody who was from San Francisco, Reno, Folsom, areas that were just way out of reach from it. And it was really overwhelming and weird to see, but I didn't really think much of it. I just thought, oh, kids are around here. They have vacation homes up here. They're just coming to party because why not?
It was scary. It was really scary.
So then Kiely and I were going around taking shots and just drinking. We were trading drinks with each other. We were sharing drinks with each other. We would go back to her car to get some alcohol sometimes. And then we went to her car to charge her phone. And we were talking about just random stuff. And then
Okay, so most of us have seen this. I'm starting to think possibly these people that showed up from these larger towns, Sacramento, Reno, these older gentlemen, sorry, not gentlemen, weirdos, rather, they came in and it shifted the party. These guys or people showed up and they were bad news. And is it possible that Sami saw something bad happen to Kiely, or somebody saw something bad happen to Kiely, but instead of helping, they panicked and ran away? Because think about that Beck article that I shared with you at the beginning. There is a big emphasis on these random people that showed up at 12:30. And remember, Kiely's phone last pinged at 12:33. Kiely's vehicle ended up in the reservoir. In my opinion now, I don't think a local would put Kiely's car in the reservoir. I think maybe someone from out of town would think that was the best. That's the best solution to hiding a mistake, if that makes sense.
To be fully honest, my biggest concern is that somebody, and I've said this in other interviews, somebody knew she was drunk, offered to give her a ride home, and they didn't give her a ride home. And they could be across the world at this point with how long she's been gone. And I'm worried that I have a feeling, and obviously, I don't know, I have a feeling that she is still alive and she's still out there and she's still fighting, but that there's somebody else involved. And that's not confirmed. That's just what I believe. I think there has to be somebody else involved in this. But
No, it's
Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that. And this is possibly why everybody thought at the beginning that she was abducted. A lot of people, law officials, stories coming out that there were shady older guys, group of people that were there, making people take bong rips, uh, possibly showed up, and an unfortunate series of events happened at the end. Why I'm bringing you this information is because we cannot come to a conclusion if we don't have all the information. And that's all I'm trying to do is present it to you and allow you to have your own thoughts. I am not set on one person being at fault. What I am set on is that what happened to this beautiful 16-year-old child was not her choice. She did not make a bad decision and drive into that lake. I refuse to believe that. I'm not going to believe that. So here is my information to you, and you disseminate it how you want. But there's more to this story, and the comment section is there, and I really look forward to reading your thoughts. And thank you for listening.